Hey everybody, it's Lori the Frugal Mom. I am coming to you this morning to talk to you about exhaustion. It is very real when you have chronic illnesses. I've talked about it before. I don't mean to keep talking about the same thing, but I just thought that it might be worth a conversation. So, as many of you know, I'm having iron infusions to combat iron deficient anemia. My iron was so low that my ferritin, which is basically, from what I understand, your iron stores, didn't even register on my last set of blood work. So I was pretty run down from that. I honestly don't know why, and neither do the doctors, and we're trying to figure that out, why I'm so anemic. I have been to a neurologist, my neurologist. I'm going to be having some testing regarding that. I do have sleep apnea, so I'm going to have a sleep lab repeated in the next few weeks. I'm going to have an MRI of my brain done. Also, I have to go see the ENT. That's up next. And then at the end of it, I have to go see a gastroenterologist. So it's going to be a long road to try to figure out if I have any internal bleeding. Hopefully I don't. I do have a lot of digestive issues, so you never know. I did have an upper and a lower study done by the GI like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. So I'm not due for any of that to be repeated, but who knows? Maybe it'll have to be because something's going on. And it is scary. It's not the first time that I've been iron deficient. I hate this little line that I have in between my eyes. My father had that too. Anyway, I'm sorry, I digress. Sometimes when you're looking at yourself, when you're taking videos, it's kind of alarming what you look like. But this is the face of exhaustion. And I know it doesn't make sense probably to most of you that I would still be as exhausted, being that I'm having the iron infusions. And it doesn't make sense to me either, quite honestly. Because you would think having the iron delivered right into a vein and right into your system, that it wouldn't make you so exhausted. But I guess it has to do with the absorption. That's what the nurse told me yesterday. It takes a while for your iron levels to kind of stabilize. And I have one more after this infusion that just passed yesterday, and that's next Wednesday. They told me it could take between 4 to 6 weeks for the iron to fully be absorbed into my system until I start to feel a difference, and this is after the last infusion. So that brings us to the end of September, which is when I'll go and have my blood work redone and meet with the doctor. Oh my goodness, excuse me, guys. So there are a couple of common side effects that happen with iron infusions, and I'm sorry if my speaking is a little bit laggy, and I'm yawning a lot because one of them is exhaustion and fatigue and headaches, which isn't great for me with migraines, and also nausea. So I had the first 2 injections, I didn't have any side effect. And then after the third infusion/injection, it's not really an injection, it's an infusion because you are in a chemotherapy but like a big, huge room with a bunch of chairs where people are receiving different kinds of treatment. It's usually in an oncologist's office that a hematologist will work. So there were some people the last couple of times that were having the same treatment as I am, and then a bunch of people having various forms of chemo. It's a place of hope, so that's a good thing. So the nausea came upon me about an hour after I got home. I took some meds and I just laid down. I literally slept for almost 12 hours. And this was with Matt waking me up. Oh, excuse me. And, my sister's home with him, so she kind of keep an eye on him and help him get food to eat if he needs it. And he did wake me up a couple of times, but thankfully I did not get sick because, as some of you know, when I vomit, it can turn into cyclic vomiting, and that's not a good thing. So I don't need one problem turning into another. So this is the face of exhaustion. I'm clean. I took a shower last night. I just didn't feel like even pulling down my bangs to blow dry them. I had to go out this morning to get Matthew's meds from the pharmacy. I don't even have on a bra. I've got on underwear, t-shirt, and shorts because, like, the bra is just too uncomfortable and too much effort to put it on, and I just went through drive-thru, and it's, like, literally less than 10 minutes from my house. And I'm drinking coffee. It's not making much of a difference. The most frustrating thing about this for me, and I don't know if any of you with chronic illnesses deal with this, is, I have so much I want to do and need to do in my house, and it's just fallen by the wayside. Matthew's room is upstairs. It's really hot up there in the summer, so he's been staying down here quite a lot, and it kind of looks like, teenager hell down here. But I have to relax my standards a little bit as far as that goes. But, since he's got the ADHD, he leaves everything everywhere. There's, like, a pile of wires all tangled in front of my TV from the video game console and all of that. But he is better about picking up after himself. Thankfully, there's no food anywhere. He's gotten much better about that, but there's TVs everywhere because we watch the big TV, and then he's got one that he plays his video games on while he's watching TV with us. God forbid he's not hooked up to a video game. So there's just kind of stuff everywhere. There's stuff that needs to go upstairs, but I don't have the strength to get it up there, and I can ask him to a certain degree, but I don't want to get it too cluttered up there because then when I go up to organize it and clean through it, I'm not going to have any room to put anything because the area in between his room and the 2 storage rooms is very narrow. So, I just feel like it's so cluttered. I really need to clean my bathroom. I need to vacuum today. I need to dust some things. I've got groceries that I did unpack. They're on my kitchen table. So I went to Grocery Outlet yesterday, and I wanted to film a video for that because I got some good deals. I had some summertime EBT benefits left, and I just wanted to stock us up on some snacks for the rest of the summer, and I think I successfully did that. But I completely forgot. I put away some of the groceries, and then the rest of them are just sitting on the table. But I got things as low as 7 cents. And yeah, they expire in like a couple of weeks, but we'll use them. I've got like the human trash can here. So Matt is with his dad for the next 4 days. So that's a blessing. Not that I don't love him, and I enjoy spending so much time with him. He's really become a good companion. Gigi's coming on Saturday, and we're going to go to the beach, and I find that restful and restorative. But I think I just need to go back to bed for a few hours, and I hate to do that. I feel like such a loser. Steve's going to come this evening, so I want to just be up and make myself look more presentable for his visit. He's coming for a couple of days as well. And I always enjoy my time with him. But I feel like I owe it to myself to let this iron infusion really work. Sometimes with chronic illnesses, you just have to not necessarily give in to them, but when your body is showing signs of fatigue, aches, pains, headaches, nausea, just overall malaise, you just have to rest. Maybe not an excessive amount, but I find that the best thing for me is that people laugh at me when I tell them this, and maybe part of it is menopause, but I kind of sleep in shifts. And very rarely do I sleep a straight 8 anymore. I'll sleep, oh gosh, excuse me guys, an hour sometimes, and then I could be up for 4, and then I'll go back to sleep for 5, maybe 6 if I'm lucky. In the summertime, I've got to do things when it's cool, so a lot of times it is at night when everybody else is asleep. Because our house is so unpredictable with temperature, and I just can't stand the heat anymore. And some of that has to do with my conditions, and some of that has to do with some of the medications I take to treat the conditions, and some of that has to do with hot flashes and menopause. So at the end of the day, I've got to do what's best for me. You know, I am, of course, up for part of the day, and that is why I sleep in shifts, because I've got to be up for part of the day. I still have kids. Even though G doesn't live here anymore, you know, I will still have her here, and we'll still do things together, and I still need to do things with Matt and get him where he needs to go. I still have medical appointments. I've still got the cats and all of that. So, you know, I just do the best that I can do, and that's just going to have to be good enough, right? And to all of you who may be dealing with these chronic issues, I see you, I hear you, I feel you. I'm right there with you. And all you can do is the best that you can do, and that's just going to have to be good enough. And some people won't understand it, but that's a common thing because they're not going through it. So don't let that make you feel bad about yourself. You know, lazy is one thing, and that's not us. You know, many of us work very, very hard in our lifetime. You know I certainly did. And so don't let anybody make you feel bad because you have to take time to take care of yourself. If we don't, we're just not going to be here very long. And that's not good either, because our families need us, and we deserve to have the life that we were born to live. So, having said that, I hope that you guys are all doing well. Remember, if you're dealing with these chronic illnesses, take the time to nurture yourself and care for yourself and do what your doctors tell you, unless you know that it's not the right thing for you. That's another video. Advocate for yourself. Always advocate for yourself. Ask questions. Get a second opinion. Do what you feel is needed. So, I am going to go lay down for a few hours, and then I'm going to get up, take a shower, freshen up, another shower. Sometimes I take multiples. And I'm going to enjoy my visit with my boyfriend and do a little bit here and there as I can. And I will talk with you guys later. Please like, share, and subscribe. It really does help me grow my channel. I am at 330 subscribers now. I'm trying to get up to 1,000. If I ever get monetized, that would be wonderful, but that's not the goal of my channel. I hope that I am able to somehow, with my simple life, inspire you guys, make y'all feel better, and be a friend to you. That's my goal. But having said that, if I do generate a little bit of income from this channel eventually, that would be a help. Every little bit helps, right? So, again, have a wonderful day. If I don't talk to you this weekend, have a wonderful weekend. And as always, I am sending love from New Jersey. Take care, everyone.